You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast, and this is show number 430 for Sunday, the 30th of October, 2022.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and I am joined by my jolly good friend Jane Phipps, as we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello there, Jane.
Hello there, Michelle. Should I be saying Happy Halloween or Happy Halloween Eve?
This is Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
I've not watched that yet this year.
I tell you what I have watched this year. I watched Hocus Pocus and Hocus Pocus 2.
Yes, I've seen number 2. I really enjoyed it, actually.
Did you? It's not for me, Jane.
Is it not?
No.
I was going in probably with a little bit of a, how can I say this, low expectation, shall we say. So I think because I went in low, I came out quite high.
Yeah, and I went in thinking, I've got to indulge and watch this, or certain people I know will never speak to me again because they love Hocus Pocus. And I thought, Hocus Pocus, you've stolen 3 hours of my life, I'm never going to get back.
Oh.
I could have been watching something else on that old Netflix that I've been addicted to and rewatched, and I'm going to be rewatching it again probably for the 5th time. I've lost count.
Yeah, it is one of those things, isn't it? Sometimes you take a punt on a movie or a series and sometimes you begin to wonder why you bothered.
Yeah. We have a podcast filled with delights and Disney from Paris. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
I know a little bit of French.
I've just said, actually, no. Bonjour, au revoir, oui, non. I think I can count to 10.
Well, when we went to Disneyland Paris, I did try to impress you with my French knowledge.
You did, and you did. You did impress me, Michelle.
Je voudrais une cookie, s'il vous plaît. And then I'd use the universal symbol of what I'd like, my pointy finger, using obviously the 2-fingered Walt point to the cookie that I would like.
I hate to say it, but we kind of all default into the I'll talk slower and louder and more pronounced and put un or une in front of a word and we'll get our way through it.
Well, it does help when the French word for cookie is cookie.
It does indeed, yes. I think I can start a sentence off and go like ouela and je voudrais whatever, and then I'm like, yeah.
It's typical high school French that you get taught in the UK, where you get to know things like, where is the train station? Where is the swimming pool? It is straight on. It is on the left. It is on the right.
And the best word ever is la bibliothèque.
La bibliothèque. La bibliothèque est dans la... I don't know. I've forgotten that bit. I always get my left and right mixed up in French, English and German. So I could probably start speaking in French, merge into German, end up in Yorkshire, and no one has a clue what I've said.
Well, sometimes with your Yorkshire accent, Michelle, that could be said, but I'm not going to say that because you're a very well pronounced lady when it comes to podcasting.
Hey up, Jane. Bless you. Well, while I'm mentioning Yorkshire,
yes,
I got very giddy the other morning. I thought, do you know what? I've been working hard. I'm going to have a Starbucks as I drive into work. So I went to the very dangerously close now Starbucks drive-through near where I live. And they had a new Starbucks cup that I had not seen before and wasn't in my collection of nearly 145, 50 cups.
Wow.
It's a Starbucks Yorkshire.
No, did you get it?
Of course, I got 2.
I'm going to say 2?
Well, I thought it would be a really good gift to give to people as a Christmas present who are from overseas.
Ah.
Because, I can send them some Yorkshire tea and a Yorkshire mug.
I'm going to have a look now because I must admit I did send you, I think, a little photo when I saw the little pumpkin mugs that were in my local Starbucks, but I've never looked to see whether or not the one that we frequent the most actually has any location mugs. So I'm going to have a look next time. I wonder if there's a Derbyshire one.
Welcome to Derbyshire.
I don't know. I'm on a mission now.
Famous for Jane Phipps living there. Anyway, digression.
Yes.
So we all know that we have a Patreon and we have some amazing people who support us via Patreon, and we are ever so grateful. And every now and again we sort of reach out to them and say if there's anything you want us to discuss. And I got a question, Jane, and a multi-stepped challenge.
Oh, okie dokie. What we got?
This is from the wonderful Jack. Hi, Michelle. Thanks as always for continuing to put out great shows.
Aww.
I'm going to go forward a little bit. Anyway, I wanted to write with a few ideas for the podcast. Always welcome, because sometimes it's a quiet news week. I am going to Disneyland Paris in December. I think I last went in 2017, so it's been a long time. Though technically, the COVID years don't count, so
No,
it's not as
so
long ago as really
No.
there, Jack.
Yeah.
They've just announced their Christmas stuff, so I'd love to hear your thoughts on their offerings. Then he said, just a bit of food talk. I love your food talk. And they now offer a clearly labelled plant-based and vegan option on most menus. Can you talk food for us? Yeah, I think we can try and get excited about that. My daughter is vegan, so I have a vague interest in the topic.
Yeah, we've been known to digress into food talk every now and then, haven't we?
Absolutely. And then, finally, it's my first time at DLP with my partner. What would be our ideal romantic day at DLP? P.S. We're staying at Sequoia for the cosy lodge vibes.
Oh.
So, shall we answer that? Because I've got so much to go through.
Go on then.
Christmas at DLP.
Yes, please.
I think we both would love to be there, June. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I must admit, going back a lot of years, I think we did DLP, I want to say either twice or three times at Christmas, mainly because my birthday's in December, but my son's birthday, Ethan's birthday, is actually Christmas Eve. So it's kind of a double whammy for us. It's Christmas and birthdays in one. So we did partake one year, and we went very close to Christmas one year, which was fantastic. But it was a little bit on the busy side, is all I shall say. And it was the weekend before Christmas. I'll just put that in there. So I think one thing, as a little precursor, and I'm assuming it's probably still the same now, is those holiday times, because you get an awful lot of Parisians and people from the surrounding area will be coming into the parks, particularly on the weekends. It can get a tad busy.
Yeah, and their Christmas time runs from November the 12th all the way through to the 8th of January, and that is because of the 6th of January being quite a special European holiday for Three Kings Day.
Yes, of course, yeah.
I've never done DLP at Christmas. I have seen the pictures and watched the vlogs. For me, Christmas and Disney are synonymous with feeling a bit chilly. And I couldn't think of a possibly better surroundings for that at DLP, because the weather will be a little bit chilly. There might actually be real life snow.
It's a very strong possibility, I suppose, isn't it? I mean, Disney and Christmas for me go together hand in hand anyway, regardless of how warm or how cold the weather would be. But yes, I think in DLP you get that extra little bit of magic because it is a little bit cooler, and because the nights obviously draw in quite early on at this time of year, so you're plunged into darkness, so all the lights are on, so that kind of brings in that coziness and that specialness that you get with Christmas, with the tree being lit and all that type of thing. And I don't know if they're doing it this year. I've not really looked too much. You can probably might be able to tell me, but they do all the little chalets throughout the downtown Disney area, so it's all very festive with mulled wine and that type of thing going on. So a bit like your traditional sort of Germany market type thing, but your festive market throughout. So there's lots happening, if my memory serves me right. And I think that element of the chilly air and the dark nights and lots of lights is kind of a match made in heaven.
Absolutely agree. And staying at the Sequoia Lodge with its rustic feel, its warming fires, perfect place to go back to go in the lounge and have a nice warm drink, as you say, some mulled wine or something. And the park itself is just so beautiful. But adding Christmas, it's just going to be absolutely stunning. There's so many things going on. There's Mickey's Dazzling Christmas Parade, so that's obviously a must. There's Christmas tree galore, so go and look at the wonderful decorations. Definitely get lots of pictures. There's Let's Sing Christmas, and up to the 25th of December, you can go and meet the man in red and white himself, Santa.
He's doing a stint there as well. He's a very busy man.
He's incredibly busy, but don't worry, the time zones allow it to happen.
Of course, I hadn't thought about that.
Global
yes.
time zones. So, absolutely. And don't forget, you've not just got the two parks. You're also going to have, as Jane hinted, is the Disney Village area, which, yes, is in need of some TLC, which is coming very soon.
Mm-hmm.
But it is decked out so beautifully with the little chalets and everything. So, that's answer number one. Yes, please, Disney Christmas at DLP.
Yes.
I think the next one was some foodie talk, Jane.
It was. So what are we looking at now? So vegan options, which is not something that I would be looking at, but I know you have an interest with your daughter being vegan. So what can we find out?
I looked at all the menus for this.
Mm-hmm.
All. And I mean everyone. And the good thing that is about Disneyland Paris at the moment is they've really upped the game, and they've got all of the menus on the website. So you can go and have a look and see, you know, plan ahead on which are going to be the better options for you. Because obviously when you've got a niche diet like veganism, yes, they're going to have one option on most menus. But if that option is something you don't like, it's not really going to be appropriate.
Yeah, I must admit, that's one thing that Disneyland Paris has always lacked from my point of view, that being able to access those menus. So it's so great to hear that you can get to those menus now via the Disneyland Paris website, because I remember previous years trying to search them down and relying on other bloggers and bloggers to, you know, gather that information for you. So that's a much better way. And like you say, because you don't want to go somewhere and find that the only option they've got isn't for you.
Yeah. So Cable Car Bake Shop, for €3.50, you can get a vegan cookie. So we know cookies are vegan.
Yes.
So that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Now, because I'm an ice cream girl, I had to go to the Gibson Girl, and you can get up to 3 scoops for €5 of a cookies on cream dough vegan ice cream.
Oh, okay.
And this is vegan caramel with cookie swirls, cookie dough and chocolatey chunks.
Can't beat a cookie dough ice cream.
It is described in French on our website. Please have a go. And yeah, I'm not going to. Quick service menus. Now, as we've talked about before in Disneyland Paris, they do a lot of meal deals where you can go and you'll get tagged on a dessert and a drink. Mm-hmm. You can do a la carte where you can just get the main bit.
Yes.
You don't have to do the main thing. But I went to a place that Jane and I really, really like, which is Toad Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And they have battered soya and chips.
Oh, okay.
And they call it the Pane Vegan.
Right.
And that is €12.
A version of fish and chips, then, I presume.
Yeah, and as you just want a little snack, you can just get the vegan chips.
Yeah. So, and it's a lovely place to go, Toad Hall. It's beautifully, beautifully done.
Just avoid the dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I thought I'd challenge myself a little bit because as a vegan, obviously you've gone down that route. I would imagine, like my daughter, because she is wanting to be a more responsible consumer and be kind to the planet. Silver Spur Steakhouse is probably the worst place ever that a vegan would want to be.
It wouldn't be a natural choice by the job title, would it really?
No. Bearing in mind I've got a picture in front of me from our website of the chairs, which are basically animal hide or animal hide appearance. But I just thought I'd have a look and see if a place like that does have a vegan option. And it does.
Well, I suppose in this day and age, it's only right that a plethora of diet options are met, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, it's not a place I'd recommend for you to go, Jack. It's €32 to €42, dependent on 2 or 3 courses. They have a avocado salad vegetable skewer with potatoes, and then the dessert is red berries, silken tofu, cashew nuts and popcorn. I just think for the price, you might want to just check on other places.
Does seem a little bit steep for what you're getting.
Yeah. There is another place I've come up with, but I'm going to mention that when we go on to the romance at DLP.
Okay.
But before we end the food talk, there is value to be found in the Disney Village. Earl of Sandwich.
Oh, you can't beat Earl of Sandwich.
And they do have some vegan options on their menu. There's also, if you are a fan of pasta, these Vapianos. They have vegan options as well. In and Out may not be the most appropriate choice for you, but if you just wanted to get some fries or a drink, that is in the Village as well. There are other eateries around there as well, to name a few. But that's another place you might want to consider, because the beauty of DLP is you can go in between the parks quite quickly if you've got a hopper ticket, but you can also go to the Disney Village.
Yeah, I must admit, I think going back to the last time we were there in 2019, we found that there was better options and better value by coming out the parks for an hour or whatever and making use particularly of Earl of Sandwich and the others that are there, definitely.
Romance, Jane.
Romance. Oh, I love you, Shell.
Oh, bless you. Well, I think it depends on your personality to what counts as romance for you. Because to me, if I was given a bouquet of flowers, I probably would not take it as a romantic gesture. I'd probably say, you daft apeth, why have you wasted your money on something that's going to die in the next 7 days when you could have, for the same price, bought me a pair of Disney earrings? So, yeah.
Well, I have to say, Michelle, I'm probably with you on that one as well. I think there's gestures. I think it depends how long you've been in a relationship as well, because if suddenly flowers turn up, you'd be going, yeah, and what?
What have you done? What have you broken?
Yeah. But yes, a thoughtful present of something Disney-fied, much more appreciated.
Yeah. So I had a bit of thought about this, and I thought, well, you're waking up in the beautiful location of Sequoia Lodge.
Yeah. That's very romantic. That's what I would think.
You've got there, I'd probably grab a coffee somewhere and, maybe a little cheeky pastry. And you could do it a few ways. You could do like a scavenger hunt that you personally plan out of some of the romantic places in DLP that you've got to tick off. And then if you get them all right, your beloved could be treated to something later.
Ooh.
That was an idea.
Yeah. Make it something to do rather than just sitting and experiencing.
Yeah. But for some people, being scared half to death, it's just for them. So go down to the Dragon and visit Le Tanière de Dragon and into the dungeons of the castle and have a little bit of frightiness going on.
Yeah, see, I'd rather walk up to the rotunda and have a look around all the stained glass windows.
True, but again, everyone is different. And
absolutely.
If you get a bit of a scare, you get that palpitation, it's dark, you can hold the hand. And
a little bit of a huggy time going on.
But obviously remembering we're in a theme park and we don't want to be captured on TikTok and posted all over Inside the Magic or any other similar website.
Appropriate touching, please.
Yes, at all times.
At all times.
But then I thought, well, I also like the kinetic movement of a boat, and Disneyland Paris does have a fair few boat rides that you can go on.
Yeah.
So maybe in your best franglais, as you are being sorted for your seat at It's a Small World, say to the lovely cast member, could we have a backseat row for two, please? You never know, you might get the boat to yourself.
Depending on how busy it is and at what time we're going, that may well be the option.
Yeah. Or then again, you might be the kind of person who likes an exhilarating ride. How about going on the Indiana Jones sort of 360 sort of loop-de-loopy thing?
I thought you were going to suggest Big Thunder Mountain.
Well, that doesn't go upside, Jane.
Well, no, but it's exciting.
It is exciting. It is very exciting. And you have that bit where you're going through the dark tunnels where you could possibly steal an illicit kiss on the cheek.
And I was just thinking you could hold hands through the darkness.
Aww, we're old soppy olders too.
Oh, it's the age, isn't it? Yeah.
But, it's going to be a bit chilly in December, a hot chocolate and a beignet for two.
Yeah, I must admit, I mean, Disneyland Paris, because of the aesthetics and how it's landscaped and how it's laid out, I think probably is the most romantic of the Disney parks in itself, isn't it?
And I think also you've got to have a meet with the main man.
At Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it would be really cute to sort of take a little bit of affection station into the Mickey Mouse meet and maybe take him a little gift and say, this is for you, Mickey.
It is a season of giving after all.
Absolutely. But if I'm going to think of romance and I'm going to think about a place I would go and eat and enjoy and spend with a loved one, I cannot think of anywhere better than Auberge de Cendrillon. See how I said it, Jane, not you.
I was going to compliment you on how beautifully you said that, Michelle.
Oh, yeah. €79, so it is a bit expensive. They do have vegan options on their menu.
Oh, okie dokie.
So you could have a royal cocktail and a mousse-bouche of a cheese madeleine. I would imagine they're going to have to change that one up for a vegan diet.
As long as it's vegan-friendly cheese, yeah.
Yeah. Then pumpkin soup with pumpkin puree flavoured with ceps and squash seeds.
Ooh.
That's vegan. And then your main meal would be pea and herb finger, piccolo pepper coulis and vegetable crisps.
Right.
Now, it says that all dishes are served with cheesy mashed potatoes, but it won't be for that vegan option.
No, unless they've got vegan cheesy ones. Yeah.
I do think that the dessert is the best one on the menu for vegans. It's warm chocolate lava cake with morello cherries, soya and cherry emulsion.
Ooh. Dark chocolate and cherries. Mm-hmm.
You can't beat it.
No,
and
that's
as
a
I
classic.
mentioned, it's Cinderella's restaurant. You get character meat as well.
Yeah, very romantic place, Cinderella's restaurant.
Yeah.
All about love, isn't it?
Yeah. There are other places that I think are fairly nice and romantic. There's Waltz, but I didn't really think the vegan option at Waltz was as good as Cendrillon. So I went with this one. But it's all down to doing that little bit of research and seeing what you can find.
Yeah, I must admit, I wonder whether or not Waltz would be up there on the list, as it's a very iconic, and you could have some beautiful views out of Waltz, couldn't you? That would be very Christmassy and very romantic. But yeah, jump on the website, have a look at those menus, and just double check before you book.
And the beautiful thing is about going to the Disney parks in Paris is you are not rushed on your dining.
No.
The French average about 2.5 hours per meal. So you're not going to be rushed out of there. So you can plan to take that extra bit of time for a really luxurious meal and then maybe pop on out afterwards to see some fireworks.
Well, fireworks are lovely at the best of times, aren't they? But, to have Christmas fireworks, even better.
Yeah. And then, there's that guy who's selling the champagne.
Ah, yeah. It's a bit of bubbly.
Leads me to think, is champagne vegan? I don't think it is it? So I don't know about that one.
Not sure.
That's a question for me to Google at a later point. So, Jack, I hope we have helped you. Please let us know how you got on your romantic DLP trip, because we are very excited to hear back from you.
Yeah, both from the romance point of view and from the Christmas offerings as well.
Yeah. Now, as we're recording today, it is the end of October. Everything's going to be all Halloweeny, and then at midnight, pow, everything goes into Christmas mode. What date is the appropriate date to put up your Christmas tree, Jane?
Oh, well, this is going to cause cat among the pigeons answers, isn't it?
As always.
Well, I'll tell you when I'm doing mine this year, and then we'll go from there, shall we?
Okay.
So it is on my calendar that my Christmas decorations, that's my outdoor lights, and my indoor decorations will be going up the last weekend in November, which I want to say is around about the 27th, 28th of November. 26th, 27th, something like that.
That's not too bad.
Your good self, Michelle?
I think Hubster's probably going to want to put them up just before his birthday in November.
So how early in November are we talking?
Well, it ties in really, really well. Just by coincidence, that Hubster's birthday ties in really well with the cadet camp I'm going on. So I can leave him to do the Christmas decorating and not have to deal with unpackaging 9 million baubles from assorted bubble wrap, Disney gift paper and whatever. And then when he goes out to work, I can just move around the baubles to how I want them to be anyway.
So you get the easiest way to decorate your house.
Absolutely.
By not being there and let somebody else do it.
Absolutely, Jane.
Well, can I say, I always write on the calendar, and I do have a calendar that hangs up in my kitchen, a physical one that I do write on. And many, many, many weeks ago, I actually sent Molly a photo of the date from the calendar of when I was doing the Christmas decorations, because Molly doesn't live at home anymore. And I just sent her the photo of the calendar with the dates, and I'm just with a question mark, and she came back was, no, you're not allowed to put them up without me. I didn't even ask a question. So guess when I'm seeing Molly next?
When it's Christmas tree time.
Exactly.
You see, this year's going to be a real change, because normally I utilise my monorail hotel assemblement, but we're not doing this because I gifted the monorail assembly of hotels to our good friend David Maruka. So this year we'll be putting up the Disney Lego train at the base of our tree.
Oh.
And then it's down to my daughter to guard the tree because she's house sitting when we go to Las Vegas for the week.
Yes, so you don't want to come back to any catties going in there and messing things up, do we?
No. Joseph's walking now.
Ah.
So
okay.
It's not just Operation Keep Cats Away from Christmas Tree. It's going to be Operation Keep Your Son Off My Christmas Tree. So I'm sort of thinking about building some sort of barricade to the back of the living room so that he can't get over it and get to the Christmas tree.
I've got visions of a caged-in Christmas tree now.
A caged-in grandchild, one or the other.
Well, I suppose either way works, doesn't it? Right, really, I suppose.
Yeah.
Which is more, I was going to say which is more important, but then that's not a question that should be asked. I will move on.
Yes. So at least I've got a plan in mind for the seasonal makeover, some nice little touches of Disney and Christmas, and very excited for it. And I've decided my Nightmare Before Christmas Halloween wreath will stay up through the entire season.
Well, when you buy these things, they need to make best use of them, don't they? So I think these things should be up and out as much as they possibly can.
And just a top tip for everybody, get yourself onto the Disney Store because they're selling off the merch for Halloween.
Yes, I must admit, I'm waiting to see if there are going to be any offers on Christmas bits and pieces, and if the two could tie in together, Disney, if you're listening, that would be really helpful.
Yeah. I missed out. They sent me a 20% gift voucher for getting things, and I just missed out by a few days because it turned up and it was like, oh, it runs out on the 17th of October. Oopsie.
Yeah. They're a bit sneaky when they're lovely that they send these things out, but you've got to act on it there and then, haven't you?
Yeah. Right, we're going to put a pause on that now, and we are going to hop on over to our Patreon channel and do some news and views over there for a bonus November content show for our fabulous supporters. If you want to go and find out more about how you can get access to all our past shows on Patreon, it's patreon.com/Disney Dream Girls, Twitter and Instagram @DisDreamGirls, and we have our podcast family page on Facebook as well. But until next time, it's a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.